Hello friends, I know right away you're asking yourself, what is the golf guy doing up there? Well, we're getting ready to explore the ultimate destination for your family or your golf group to come and hang around. We've got championship golf, a whole lot of fun for the entire family at a very special place in northern Michigan. Stick around as today we explore the remarkable Crystal Mountain Resort in Thompsonville.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, shining the spotlight on the best places to play, stay, and celebrate the greatest game on earth. Stay connected to Michigan Golf Live 24/7 on Facebook, X, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. And subscribe for free to our weekly FORE Golfers Network podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are found.
Hello friends, and welcome into a very special edition of our program. I'm Bill Hobson, and it is great to have you with us as we showcase one of the great family and golf destinations, not just in Michigan, not just in the Midwest, but anywhere in America. It's Crystal Mountain Resort in Thompsonville, the home of two championship courses called Betsie Valley and Mountain Ridge, more lodging options than you'll ever be able to explore, and the kind of family fun that has families coming back here generation after generation. We have a lot of ground to cover in the moments ahead, so we're going to get right to it as we begin to explore the golf aspects of Crystal Mountain on Betsie Valley. Can you give us a feel for the overall golf vibe here?
I mean, the overall golf vibe here at Crystal Mountain is one of family, friends, and fun, because we have it all here. We have the family atmosphere, we have the buddies trips, we get the girls trips. It's just an all-around great atmosphere here at Crystal Mountain with two amazing golf courses that suit any golfer's game. It's just a great place to come and meet and hang out with friends and family and enjoy our beautiful resort.
And one of the things I most enjoy about the golf side of things is the differences between the two courses. Betsie and Mountain are very different experiences. They're both really good, but you won't be bored if you're just making the loop around 36. You'll have quite a variety.
The variety is definitely there because the Betsie Valley, while it's shorter than the Mountain Ridge, in my opinion, it plays harder because the greens and the fairways are much tighter. And if you hit one offline on the Betsie Valley, in a lot of areas, it's not going to come back. Where the Mountain Ridge, you can spray the ball a little bit more, but at the same time, you've got to be a little bit longer off the tee, and otherwise you're going to be hitting some long irons or even fairway woods into some of those greens, which the greens are the tricky part on both courses, where you just got to watch out because there are some subtle breaks here and there, generally breaking towards the water or away from the mountain.
So you're going to serve as our tour guide on some key holes on both courses. Let's start on Betsie Valley. Jump ahead to number 3. I love that hole.
Number 3 is a tricky little hole. You can hit anything off the tee from a driver down to a 7-iron if you really want to, because it's barely 300 yards. There is a bunker right in the middle of the fairway, though, that does come into play depending on what club you choose. And then the green itself is probably its greatest defense because it is a 2-tiered green with
a small green too.
It's a very small green with a pond guarding it on the left. But otherwise, it's another one of those holes where you can make birdie or you can make double real quick on it.
We're going to slide on forward to the beautiful 6th hole. How do you guide us through that one?
So number 6, in my opinion, and most other of the better golfers here on property, we all think number 6 is the toughest hole on the property just because the tee shot is everything on that hole. You have to aim at the bunker even though you don't want to, because the water on the left side comes into play so quickly, and it's a long way depending on the set of tees you're playing from to try to clear that water on the left-hand side. And then the approach shot is no cakewalk either, because you've got a huge pond that runs basically from 220 yards all the way up and around the backside of the green on the left side.
Unconfirmed reports indicate that the host of this show may not have cleared the water on the left side of 6.
That, and a lot of us have not, because it is quite a poke to get over that left-hand corner.
So my logoed ball is not the first one in there?
It's definitely not the first one in there.
Go ahead to number 7 if you would.
Number 7's a good, tricky little par 3. It's short, but people underestimate it because the green is its biggest defense. It's got a lot of little edges that you got to watch out for, some little ledges towards the back of the green where if it's a blue pin, be careful because you don't want to go long, but at the same time you don't want to be too short because a 3-putt is in your future if you do.
Number 8's got some challenge to it.
Number 8's one of my favorite holes on the property. Since they renovated number 8 back in 2020, they've opened up the fairway, made it a much larger area up there, but the rough up by the bunker in the middle of the fairway gets very thick. And then up by the green, we have a huge cherry tree that kind of guards the whole right side. So getting home in 2 is it's not an easy task, and not many guys can get there.
Love the back 9, especially that stretch around 12 and 13. It's beautiful. Not easy, but it's beautiful. Can you kind of walk us through those 2 holes?
12's another one that we did the renovation to back in 2020. Cleared out the whole left-hand side, added a waste area out there. The pond comes into play depending on what club you choose off the tee. So if you hit it up the right-hand side, you've got a good chance of going in that pond, but you can't go too far left either, otherwise you're in the waste area. Green is sloped pretty severely from front to back, but if you get it on that green, which is another one of those smaller greens, you've got a short birdie putt. So.
And how about 13?
13, straightaway hole. Not a lot of tricks in that one, but you got to hit it straight. Out of bounds is on the right because it kind of borders our learning center practice facility, and it's thick woods on the left and a few apple trees that kind of guard that left-hand side as well, with another marshland pond up by the green. Probably one of the tougher holes on the back 9.
You've really got to keep your ball in play and put it in the right spots, including on number 14.
14's it's probably one of the more fun holes on either course, just because it's kind of a punch bowl green. You just have to, if you land it left or right or even a little long, you're probably not going to have, you're going to have a pretty good putt at it because it's going to funnel it towards the hole depending on where it is. Now, if it's a red pin and that pin's up in front, you got to be real careful because you just got to get it on the green and hope, because if you land it short, it's coming back down that hill about 20 yards and then you've really got a tough chip coming up at it.
And if you want a stout challenge to finish your round, the crescent-shaped par 4 18th has some challenge for you.
It's a great finishing hole. I've seen many double or triple on that hole just because it's a tough tee shot. You've got a bunker up the right-hand side. Nobody realizes just how much room there is out to the left, that you can just hit it a mile up the left-hand side and have a great shot in from there, and everything funnels hard right. So depending on where the pin's at, if the pin's on the right-hand side and you hit it on the green, you're probably gonna have a good look at birdie, but if it's on the left, be careful.
I know you love this game, which is why you serve as the president of the Michigan section. What do you love about this game at Crystal Mountain?
Wow, it's a getaway. It's really a retreat, and especially during the Michigan Women's Open, bring my family. We just enjoy the whole time we're here. It's an true up north golf course here in Michigan, and it is. Every hole is very memorable. I know there's some courses that you play where it seems like certain holes mesh into each other, but out here I just feel every hole's got its distinct characteristics, and it helps you. The Mountain Ridge is what I've played the most, and that's what I love about it.
An essential part of any really good vacation getaway is the chance just to sit down and eat a really good pizza, especially after we've just played 18 holes on Betsie Valley. We stopped by the Betsie River Pizza and Subs. Look at this Hawaiian special. Let's check out the cheese pull. Oh. And you know the best way to tell if pizza's really good is with the first 5 bites. No way you can do it in just one. 5 bites, everybody knows the rules. I don't even need 5 bites for that. This is incredible. So I'm gonna dust this off. When we come back on the other side, we'll showcase more of what makes Crystal Mountain a perfect vacation destination. Welcome back into the show and our special visit to Crystal Mountain Resort in Thompsonville. And there's really no way to tell the story of this special place without including the concept of relaxation and rejuvenation, which is exactly what they do in the award-winning Crystal Spa. For me, it's not easy to describe the magic of a spa of this caliber. What's special about Crystal Spa?
Oh, everything is special about Crystal Spa. Our staff are absolutely the heart of the spa. They very special individuals. Some of them have been here for 14 years doing services. Our amazing staff that greets them and knows your name. The facility is absolutely gorgeous too. So it's very well designed, very well laid out, and it's unique because many spas have their fitness center locker room shared with the spa locker room, and ours is separate. So when you're coming into the spa and experiencing those amenities in the locker space before and after your service, you're not sharing it with a lot of other people that aren't there enjoying the spa experience. We are the easiest thing you can do at Crystal Mountain. It takes zero skill, except a credit card, to be able to enjoy this space. So we see people kind of coming down the journey, down the hallway to the spa, and you can see them just lightening their load as they come in and relax and be able to take that time to themselves. It's so important. And I think after the pandemic, people really started to realize more and more how important and how valuable that was to them. So we're seeing a greater understanding of that as a necessity, not just a luxury.
There's really only one downside I can think of being immersed in this deep of a state of relaxation in the Crystal Spa. And that is eventually, I have to leave the Crystal Spa. We are a golf show after all, so let's go back to the world of golf and get a little bit better at the game before we head over to our final featured course. The eternal quest for improvement in this game. It's something every golfer experiences, and here at Crystal Mountain, they can help you in that quest. My friend Greg Babinick has been teaching this game for
40-some years.
Okay, so what's instruction like, and what are the opportunities like here at Crystal?
Well, the instruction are varied. We have 2-day schools, 3-day schools, individual private lessons. You can take a series of lessons. Our schools are quite full. You do have to sign up a bit ahead of time, but our general schools the 3-day school is like a 9 to 2:30 one day, 9 to 2:30 the next day, and then 9 to noon the next day. And each day they get to go out and play golf, either with us, partly with us, and then on their own. There's unlimited golf while they're here.
Technology has come such a long way in being part of the learning experience. How do you employ tech in your instruction?
Well, we have a TrackMan that we use on occasion to measure all sorts of data. We like to say it brings the invisible visible, because a lot of those data points you can't see with the naked eye while they're swinging at 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour.
We have been endeavoring to inject a bit more culture into this show that's normally all about golf, and there's no better way to do that at Crystal Mountain than by visiting the Michigan Legacy Art Park. Angie Quinn, what is the Michigan Legacy Art Park?
So the Michigan Legacy Art Park is a 31-acre forested sculpture park here on the same hills as those challenging Crystal Mountain golf courses themselves.
So we're just a few yards away from the number 18 on the Mountain Ridge course, and yet winding through nature is some really remarkable artwork.
Yeah, we have been sharing this land with Crystal Mountain. They invited us to come out way back in 1995, and we have built a collection of over 50 contemporary sculptures in this forest, and we have 31 acres altogether. There are 2 miles of hiking trails. And then, of course, we also celebrate other kinds of arts as well. We have drop-in art activities for children and all sorts of programs and events both for visitors and people from the region.
You've seen a little bit of the beauty at Crystal Mountain, but putting together the perfect vacation experience can be a little bit of a challenge. So, Brittany, what is the perfect vacation experience here?
Anything you'd like it to be. Whether you're traveling up here solo or with your family or golf buddies or your friends, you come for the golf and you stay for the activities, or you stay for the lodging and the dining. You've tried the zip line, you've done the climbing wall, there's the Crystal Spa, and outdoor archery tag, laser tag, pickleball, tennis, you name it, we have it. And again, we're that perfect base camp, so you can do all those activities on site, but there's also plenty to explore nearby as well.
It seems like there might be as many options for where you stay at Crystal as there are things to do. So for somebody who's not been here, how do you figure out where you want to stay?
It depends on what you're looking for and who you're coming with, because if you're coming solo, you could stay in one of our standard hotel suites, or if you're bringing a big group, you could stay at one of our mountaintop resort homes, or if you want to be just steps away from the pro shop, stay in one of our 2-bedroom condos at the top of Kinlocken. Everything is within steps. The activities, the lodging, the dining, and in the winter, of course, it's slopeside.
So when it comes time to put together your trip to Crystal Mountain, there really are like a million different options for where you will stay. Maybe you've got a group that would perfectly fit into one of those 2-story, 3-bedroom cottages in the park at Water's Edge. Or maybe it's just 2 or 3 of you and you'd like to have your own homey feel here in the inn at the mountain. Check this place out. Your own beautiful living room, you've got a fireplace, a full kitchen in case you want to do your own food preparation, and a really cool feature for small families. You've got a tucked away cubbyhole loft bed for the kiddos. There's a little TV in there and everything, where they can just kind of disappear into their own world. I'm telling you, friends, as many things as there are to do at Crystal Mountain, there are that many lodging options, and it's all really perfectly suited for your family. Now, when we come back on the program, we've got one more golf course to show you, and it's one with championship credentials. You don't want to miss, so stick around as we continue our tour of Crystal Mountain straight ahead. Welcome back into the show as we continue climbing our way through a trip around Crystal Mountain Resort. We've got one more great golf course to show you in the moments ahead. But first, let's take a couple of minutes to further explore what makes this such a great destination for your buddy's trip or your entire family.
One piece is the setting and the playground. There's so much stuff to do, so many ways to experience Northern Michigan. Whether you're in the water park, whether you have some me time in the spa, whether you're on 36 holes of golf, and it goes on, whether you're on our biking trails, our hiking trails, taking a wonderful hike in Michigan Legacy Art Park, attending a concert, different events. These are the magical moments. And that's what we capture, whether, it's families who've been here for generations or families that are here for the first time.
It's not every day you get a chance to talk with a member of the Michigan Golf Hall of Fame about a great destination. So, Stacy, Crystal Mountain, what does it mean to you, and what's a day like this like for you?
Well, Crystal Mountain happens to be one of our most favorite places in the world, actually. When I was pregnant with my only child was the first year that Crystal Mountain decided to host the Michigan Open. So Brad Dean, the pro at the time, called and said, we need some fill-in pros, can you play? And I said, I'm not really sure I'm the most desirable fill-in pro right now. But I still came up and did that. I planned on playing in the tournament. And so my daughter Olivia has been here every year of her life since then. And of course, Crystal Mountain, just as I run my team as the Spartan Golf family, to me, Crystal Mountain is also family. And certainly Crystal Mountain is not only welcoming, but an awesome golf course to host the Michigan Women's Open.
Earlier in the program, we took you on a tour of the Betsie Valley course here at Crystal Mountain Resort. Now it's time for, I think, what we can safely refer to as the championship course, the site of the Michigan Women's Open for a lot of years, Mountain Ridge. Jamie Davidson is the director of golf here. So the Mountain Ridge Challenge is what?
The back nine is probably one of the best back nines that I've played in Michigan itself, and especially the last 5 holes. So if you can navigate those last 5 holes coming in, you're either going to have a great round or a very average round at best. This is the home to the Michigan Women's Open and has been. This will be the 22nd year now. So it is our championship course.
Well, let's hit some highlight holes on Mountain Ridge and have you serve as tour guide again like you did on the other course. Let's start right on number 1.
Number 1's a great hole. You'll be seeing a big tree up on the left-hand side. Everybody plays it right at that tree, but you want to be just a hair right of it, and then you're going to have a perfect shot into a guarded green with a pond on the left and bunkers on the right. But at the same time, if you land on that green, you're going to have a pretty good shot at a birdie there because everything kind of funnels towards the hole on number 1 green, it seems like, to me anyway.
We continue our flow on that front 9. Let's jump ahead to number 5.
Number 5 was one of those holes that they renovated back in 2020 with the Betsie Valley, and they did a great job by just pushing the tree line back and opening it up, adding a waste area, making the green complex so much more aesthetically pleasing, I guess, even though there's about 5 bunkers that surround it. And it's a 200-yard tee shot from the back tees, so.
It's a beautiful hole.
But it's a gorgeous hole. It's probably one of the most picturesque holes on the course.
And if you haven't played here in a few years, you might find it to be a new experience in some ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Those holes out there, just the renovations that they did and the forest management that they did on those, it just cleaned it up, made it look so much better.
What's number 7 like?
Number 7's a good hole. It's actually a tough hole because it's a pretty sharp dogleg left. Your tee shot is paramount, but then at the same time, I say that the tee shot's paramount, but when you get up to that green, there's twists and turns everywhere, and I always joke with my superintendent that there's maybe 2 places on that green that you can actually put a flat pin spot. Otherwise, it's breaking left, right, up, down, you name it, it's going. So you got to hit one close if you want to score on that hole.
So the fact that I haven't made a lot of putts on camera is understandable. I have an excuse built in.
On number 7, absolutely.
What's the 8th hole like?
8th hole's a great hole. They did a great job when they added some bunkering in the middle of the fairway, kind of added some open areas around the green. We've got a nice grass bunker on the left-hand side halfway down the fairway, so which catches some balls, but it also keeps some balls from going into the woods as well. So
now we make the turn in a really beautiful setting, a beautiful part of Mountain Ridge. Take us on to 10.
Number 10, depending on the tees you're playing from, the back tees, it's a driver or a 3-wood because you don't want to flirt with the bunker up on the right-hand side. But at the same time, you can't go too far left either, or you'll be in some fairly thick woods there. Then the green is guarded by a couple of mounds, one larger mound on the left-hand side that kind of protects that.
Okay, I'm going to let you lead us down the home stretch of 15 through 18 as the guy who knows this course really, really well.
Par's a good score on 15. It's a long par 4, waste area down the whole left-hand side, trees down the whole right-hand side. But with a good tee shot, you do have a good approach shot in where you can get one in tight and score on that hole. 16, I look at it as kind of a double dog leg almost, where it kind of goes left, then goes right, and then up the hill. So a lot of bunkering up around that green, but you've got to place your tee shot on 16 correctly.
A pretty healthy par 3 on 17.
And 17 is it's a tough hole, especially if you're standing on the back tee box. That green looks like a postage stamp sitting, looking at you down there. It plays about 208 downhill, so you're probably playing not 190 or so yards, and with like I said, a postage stamp green. And in all honesty, I think 18 is a birdie hole for the majority of the better players out here, and even an average player has a good shot at making birdie on the 18th hole. You've got a good shot at either maybe even getting close to the green in 2 or on in 2. And you've got a short wedge shot into a pretty receptive and fairly large green that you can make a birdie on.
As we come close to winding down our visit to Crystal Mountain, I wanted to take a moment and showcase for you one very special dining option. It's called the Thistle. It's located inside the Kinlochen Lodge, and it's really the perfect combination of casual and fine dining. It's really whatever you want. The menu, widely varied. Everything from the Thistle Burger to the other end, the more specialized entrees that feature locally grown produce and some really good entree choices. I mean, take an up-close look at this incredible ribeye, or move over here to the seafood risotto. If you're in the mood for just a good old-fashioned filet, there's a good old-fashioned filet. And then my personal favorite, the Scottish salmon, surrounded by a wall of scallops. Oh, folks, it doesn't get any better than this inside the Thistle at Crystal Mountain. When you come in, bring your appetite. Oh, that's absolutely perfect. As our visit to Crystal Mountain draws to a close, the sun has set, the bonfire is lit, there's live music up at level 4, and the most popular place on the entire property of Crystal Mountain, Crystal Scoops, is serving up the perfect ending to a perfect day at a perfect place. So now the invitation is to you. Come on up, bring the clubs, bring the family, and get ready to make a lifetime of memories at one of Northern Michigan's most spectacular destinations. We'll see you down the road here at Crystal Mountain.